almost be like a blueprint to you. We know how we would be as Black people if we are united, right? How the muscles become.
Yes.
Our people really need to learn, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
we need to really wake up because we are at war, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need to create something that will wake my people up, you know, join our powers together and come back home and, you know, make Africa great.
Cool. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Otagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American in Accra, Ghana. And if you want to know what it's like to build a media platform here in Ghana, then this is the video for you. All right, so today we're talking to Hayford from Webnation Africa, and he's gonna talk to us about how he built this platform. He's gonna tell us his whole story. So he's a Ghanaian-born entrepreneur, and he's gonna talk to us about the Webnation African platform, right? Like the Webnation Africa platform. We're gonna talk to him about who he interviews, who he has interviewed. It's story, interesting cast of characters that he's interviewed. Quite a substantial sized channel, so we're gonna talk to him all about it. So check it out. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Otagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American in Accra, Ghana. And today I'm back with another episode of Authentic African Entrepreneurs. I'm here with Hayford of Webnation Africa.
Thank you for having me.
So now I wanted to have Hayford on, but before we get into it, let me give Hayford's background and bio really quickly, really shortly, and then we'll dive right in. Webnation Africa sees about 20,000 to 50,000 page views a month, and they're one of the fastest growing media platforms in Africa. They interview diasporans, make documentaries, travel around Africa, and they show what it's like to live in Ghana. All right, cool. So for those of you guys who are watching, I really wanted to do this interview with you, Hayford, because I came across your channel after watching a video of mine on another channel. I watched it, and your interview with Alita was a really interesting interview. Why she's never going back to America. You asked some really pertinent and poignant questions. Then I went to your Instagram and saw clips from a lot of your other interviews. I have to have Hayford on this channel to tell his story. And then, of course, I wanted to be interviewed by you for Webnation Africa, because I love what you're doing. I think we're aligned in the fact that I think we both want to show Africa in a different light, right? And on that, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your background. Obviously, you run this platform, multi-platform media company. But before we get into the company itself, I'd love to get your background. Where were you born and raised?
Yeah, I was born in Ghana, somewhere called Insaom.
Okay.
And I grew up there, went to junior high school, primary school and all that. Went to high school in Eburi.
Okay, I know the
mountains, and that's where I did my SHS. But right after SHS, I had to leave the country because I was an IT guy and I really wanted to learn.
Okay.
You know, and then we had computers back in the days when all those big, you know, so I was used to computers. And when I went to these universities and checked what the facilities they had, it was just, you know what I'm saying, like it was not up to my standards. So I had to leave the country to India.
India?
Yeah.
Okay.
Study IT.
Okay.
Which obviously infrastructure were better.
Yeah.
So I did my BSIT, bachelor's there. I did BSIT, which is Bachelor's of Science in Information Technology.
Okay.
Learning all the IT stuff, and then from there, I left India, came back to Ghana, tried to establish this company here.
Okay.
But maybe first try didn't really succeed so well. So I had to leave, go to China. Did all sort of work in China. I was teaching at one point. Did a little bit of business, and fast forward, I realized that I just can't live that lifestyle anymore.
Okay.
So I had to move back to Ghana again to do this business, set up this company that you see, Webnation Africa.
Wow.
To rebrand it, because it was, I started something already, but I didn't succeed, so I had to rebrand it and then bring it out again.
Got it.
Fast forward, I'm doing content like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Interviewing diasporans and stuff like that.
That's huge.
To change the narrative because of the experience I had living in India and China. I realized most people living there have no clue what Africa is.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I can change that. So, yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
I love it.
A little bit of my story.
I love it. That's awesome. I mean, first of all, most IT folks like things more than people. So I think that's interesting that you are a person who's in front of the camera and interviewing people, and you have a very outgoing personality. So how did you make the transition from IT?
Yeah.
You said when you went to China, you were teaching, which also forces you to be in front of people and talking to people. Were you always an outgoing person?
Well, I used to be more extrovert.
Okay.
Back in the days.
Okay.
Now I feel like I'm an introvert.
Really? You think you've gone back? You've gone the other way?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think when I was in India, I was forced to transition myself because I was on campus and learning first year, second year, and then my dad got sick. And then he was not able to pay my fees, and it was tough. Living in a foreign land, they have no support. It's tough. So I literally had to go online and check, how do I make money online? So I typed that online, and I realized there was so many things popping up. I'm like, the YouTube, okay.
Yeah.
So I began to, research about YouTube. I love everything. I learned every little trick. I started making YouTube videos back in 2016, 17. I became a YouTuber then. So I was forced to literally evolve, you know what I'm saying, like to become a content creator and, going on that journey. I think it changed a lot about me. So yeah, that's how it started for me, leaving IT and just, diving into content creator.
Yeah, so you've been doing YouTube for quite a bit of time now. What led you to deciding what your channel was going to be about? You knew that, after you looked it up online, how to make money online, YouTube and creating content was one way. How do you decide, I want to interview diasporans, I want to travel around, I want to tell the African story? What made you decide that?
Well, data is a gift.
Yes.
Right, with IT, we do have data from user experiences. You do have little, when people want to watch, what time they want to watch video, from where they are watching it, from what are their interests, what they search online and everything. So we have all those data. And I don't want to fail at a business. When you say, I'm passionate about cooking, right?
Right.
And then you realize that at that moment nobody want to cook. You know what I'm saying? So you keep doing the cooking video? No. So I understand the data that I was perceiving, and I had to produce content based on the data that I was perceiving. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And also supporting the fact that I had that experience, and I felt like, okay, that, matches together depending on what they want now and what I want to do, change the narrative. So I was perfect.
Right.
Let's just do that together. And I went on that journey. Initially, I was traveling everywhere, but but people didn't love that. You spend like 3,000 CDs on a trip, flying your drones, documenting so many things, hiring team and everything. You come back and post it, and then you have 300 viewers.
Right.
So I realized that even though I wanted to do that, to travel to every other African country, it was not economically sustainable. So I had to, divert to content that people are interested to watch. And I think it's a blessing because people love this content, and I'm really making impact creating this type of content compared to other things that I would have been doing. So I felt like, it's right. So I just took it and ran with it.
Okay, cool. And I think that's awesome. I mean, data, you hit the nail on the head, right? I mean, it really is about data. I could not agree with you more. In any business, actually, you should do that. But it's in particular content creation. Now, on that topic, Webnation Africa is interviewing many diasporans. Can you talk about some of the people you've interviewed so the audience gets a little bit of an idea of who they can expect to see when they go to your channel?
Well, yeah, I am interested in changing the narrative.
Yeah.
Right? Where diasporans get to tell their story from where they come from and why they embark on this journey.
Right.
To really, see it in perspective, to help our brothers in the diaspora to also follow their footsteps to make the same decision. Listen to their problems, their challenges, how they solved it, and then it would almost be like a blueprint to you. And that's what my channel is about right now.
Yeah.
We will be doing all sorts of things. We'll be doing the podcast, also some dating shows and stuff like that to, bring everything together because it's a media brand. So it's not just one thing, but we're bringing all sort of entertainment content and But to go into details, right, with the diaspora and then moving back, 2019 was the year of return.
Yep.
And we know how we would be as Black people if we are united, right? How powerful we can.
Yes.
And I realized that most people they are not conscious about that, like joining powers and bringing our money back home and stuff like that. So I realized that if we are not really taking this mark serious, taking it very seriously, we are always, doing it ourselves this justice.
Right.
So I felt like there's need to be more, awareness being created. I know I have people sending me emails and they're like, oh, I want to move back to the continent, but are there cockroaches? And I'm like, man, you want to move to a continent. The Chinese is here.
Right.
They are going to this forest where there's anacondas, snakes, pythons, and they are using their bulldozers to go through this forest and they're, struggling to get minerals out of your land.
Yeah.
Listen, these people can literally die from mosquitoes, bite. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
here, getting all this resources out of there.
Exactly.
And then you are sending me an email asking me
Is there
very
roaches?
And I see messages and I'm like, wow, our people really need to learn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
we need to really wake up because we are at war. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are like playing PS4 and you know what I'm saying. So I was itching. I'm like, man, I need to create something that will wake my people up. Join our powers together and come back home and make Africa great.
I love it.
And in my own small world, this is what I can do to contribute to that.
Yeah.
And I just embark on that journey, So,
I love it.
the rest is mystery. No one knows what will happen in the future, but that's what I want to do now, and I'm doing that right now.
I love that. And you mentioned this a bit, but I'd love for you to go back to this. What are your plans for the future of Webnation Africa? You did mention you're going to work on dating and some things like that. Do you have any thoughts on this year and the next, what your plans are for the types of content you'll be shooting?
Well, yeah, I have for this year. So,
okay.
I want to be able to, in the near future, for people to also create content and put on Webnation Africa.
Nice.
It's just not me because what if I'm not feeling well, I'm sick, right?
Yes.
So I want other creators to be able to work and partner with me to be able to create content on Webnation Africa. I'm also partnering with people like Bella Worldwide, Roaming Republic. She has a tour company and to be able to do podcasts. Also dating show where we talk about relationships. And trying you moving from the diaspora to try to date a Ghanaian here and stuff like that. That is also coming up. We want to travel the whole of Africa too. Only start with West Africa and interviewing entrepreneurs who are doing great in other part of Africa, Gambia, Tanzania, Kenya, and other countries to listen to their story, their challenges, to see how different it is from Ghana, and also to set out as a blueprint. So that's what it's in the pipeline for this year, maybe later the end of this year.
Okay, that's awesome. I love to hear that. All right, so on the business front, because you're a Ghanaian, but you've also lived in two countries that I think are they're very much like Africa in terms of they're very different from the West, but they have Western influence, right? You have their own cultures, they have their own subcultures. And they're both densely populated, and we have a continent that's pretty densely populated. So I think that's why they spend a lot of time here, because they're figuring Africa as a continent looks a lot like how India and China looked like maybe 50, sometimes 100 years ago, depending on where you are. So from that experience, right, and moving back here and starting this business, what were some of the challenges that you have had starting Webnation Africa? I think it'd be interesting for people to hear, because everybody always asks me, what is it like to start a business here? So what are some of the challenges that you've had building a business here?
Finance is always a challenge.
Yes.
To get money to sponsor the trip, because it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Some of the interview that you've seen, I had to drive like 4 hours and buy fuel by myself to interview these people.
Wow.
And then sometimes funding those things are very expensive. And man, I'm not a millionaire, man. So sometimes very hard, but like just put that aside. Working with the right team will be harder, challenging. Find the people who have the expertise to really kind of do what you want. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's been hard, it's been challenging. So I do most of the videos you see by myself. I edit everything by myself. I color grade by myself, because I've not found people who can really do it like I want.
Sure.
But luckily, I met someone, Michael, who I'm working with, who helps me, record the video right now. So that pressure is a little bit down now. But it's working with a team is quite hard here.
Getting with a team, right?
Yeah. Getting the right team is hard, and that's been one of the greatest challenges. Also, the authorities here kind of don't respect YouTubers like that. So, example, if I need a place to film in a video, it will be hard for me to get it. Like, oh, you can't film here, it's not allowed and stuff like that. It makes it difficult to do what I'm doing. That's been and I don't focus so much on the challenges, but I think there will be more than that. But I don't focus on the challenges. So I always look at the positive side to see what advantages and opportunities are always there for me. But that's a few challenges.
And I get that. I think it's important to know. But so on the flip side, right? So we heard some of the challenges. What are some of the positives? Like, what have you loved most about what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, I get to meet and learn, man. I meet new people every day. I learn. I get so much. I get to meet people who are like millionaires, and then come across it. You have conversation where literally share you some germs and how to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And I feel like if I didn't embark on this journey, I wouldn't have, met those people or learned like what I'm learning right now, and also traveling and seeing new places. I think, yeah, and then me knowing like I'm making an impact, that's the most part, making an impact, changing. So I have people sending me an email that, oh, wow, you made me want to come to Ghana. I'm like, me being able to do that, I feel like, wow, it means a lot to me. And yeah, that's the positive thing that I've experienced so far.
Okay, cool. What is something that surprised you through this process, right? Like you've had this channel for some time now. You've interviewed, you said millionaires, and even just people who are starting businesses or just moved here. What is something that has surprised you in the last few years since you started this process?
Surprise. I'm hard to surprise.
Okay. Okay.
I foresee a lot of things, but I think my growth has been very what's the right word for it? It went faster than I anticipated.
Okay, yeah.
Knowing that people loved it, so it kind of propelled the whole process.
Right.
Yeah, so that's surprising to me, seeing how much people love the content and interact with my videos.
Okay.
That's surprising.
And then what advice would you give to anybody out there who's planning to come to Ghana and maybe start a business or even start a content business like what you're doing, what I'm doing?
Bro, like the time is now, man. Look, YouTube just initiated a new policy this February that you can make shorts and make money now.
Yep.
On TikTok, you only have to go live to make money. But on YouTube Shorts, you can make money just from posting the video. I think that is a great opportunity. The continent of Africa is untapped in terms of media. Only been one narrative, which is a negative narrative.
Right.
It's now time for people to really tell the real story. There's a lot of media that needs to be done on the continent.
100.
Being a content creator can be very good. To tap in, travel the whole of Africa. You don't need much, man. Just $1,000. If you have your flight ticket, $1,000 is enough.
Yeah.
To come to Africa and to start to embark on something. Sometimes you don't have to have the whole blueprint to know everything before moving back. Look, we traveled abroad to school, and sometimes we didn't even have any money.
Right.
I had my flight ticket and then my school admission, and the rest was mystery. I didn't know what I'm saying. And I'm sitting here right now with I've learned everything from there.
Right.
I took a little money. So the same way, move back here, come create content, come listen. How much can you make in the US every year?
How much money?
Yeah.
Over $100,000 a year.
Right? After making that money, you know how much 100,000 can do in Ghana?
I know.
Right?
Oh, man.
Just if you are in that position, I'm just telling you, just come home.
Yeah.
Come home. You can literally build an Airbnb here.
Yep.
That can make you a lot of money. You can invest in something that you were doing, like content creating, which if you're creating good content and you are passionate about it,
right,
you have returns. People would watch you. You find sponsors to contact you to sell their products on your channel. You would not run at a loss. If you do run at a loss, maybe it's not meant for you, but you will not run at a loss. Yeah.
I love that. All right, and before we go, obviously this story is a great story, and I'm looking forward to following you as you grow and doing more collaborations, because we are in the same world, in the same field, and what you're working on, what you're planning on doing, I'm really interested in. But where can people find you online?
On my YouTube is Webnation Africa, WEBNATION and Africa. If you don't know how to spell Africa, it's AFRICA. You can use KA if you want, but yeah, Webnation Africa on YouTube. Also, you can find me on Instagram with the Webnation Africa. My personal Instagram is Captain_Hayford. The Captain is CAPT_HAYFORD. Go check me out, and also I'm offering consultations,
Okay, nice.
So you can go in my description on my YouTube channel, hit me up. You want to move to Africa, you want to, come here, but you're scared, just speak with me, man. It's not so much expensive, just few coins, and I would show you the right people to work with, people you need to work with, people not to work with, and you might end up saving yourself from getting ripped or, duped or stuff like that. So yeah, reach out to me, and I'll be at your service.
Awesome. And with that, thanks for watching. Oh, what's up? Thank you for doing this interview. All of that information, where you can find Hayford's information, is going to be in the description below. If you guys feel like I missed anything, you guys always let me know if I missed any questions. If you have any questions for Hayford, put it in the description below, or head over to his YouTube channel. All his contact information will be there. You can find his Instagram as well if you want to DM him. But I want to thank you again for doing this.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for doing it. I appreciate it as well. Thank you.
Good one.
All right, cool. So that was the interview with Hayford. What did you guys think about his story? What do you think about who he interviews and how he's come up with all the concepts? Definitely want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below. If you want to see more from African entrepreneurs on the continent, click up here. And if you want to see more interviews from other people, then you want to click down here. Also, don't forget to subscribe over here. All right, thanks for watching. See you guys all in the next video.